Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a fantabulous weekend. Speaking of fantabulous, hey Jax, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. As you can hear, I'm a little sick, so apologies in advance for sounding so nasally. Don't know what the other option is.
No, it's just that time of year. We were speaking about it last week. It's coming for everyone, and it's come for your neck.
Yeah, it's been a few days of like a really slow rollout where I'm teetering on being sick. So far, I just have like throat pain a little bit, sneezy. Today I have a headache too, but like I don't have full-blown sickness yet, so I'm just sort of waiting. I mean, I did stave it off as long as I could with an amazing chicken noodle soup yesterday that I made from scratch.
I saw.
I didn't even have broth, so I had to like make the soup with water. It was so good, so nourishing. My boys were soup boys yesterday. We were a soup house. It was amazing.
Well, you know what? You need to keep up that energy. Keep drinking your soup because this is the final week of Toast for the year 2022.
I can't go down now.
At her best.
I can't go down.
At her most unhinged.
I'll do my best. I'm doing my best. That's all I can say. But I mean, I'm going to be drinking a lot of soup. That's all I'll say.
A lot of soup. Final episode of the year. Are you feeling nostalgic?
No, how about you?
No, you know what? Actually, I feel like it takes me a really long time to get to this place because like content is my job and people are always talking about burnout and it's like you put up one video, relax. I actually am now officially getting burnt out and that's not a feeling I really have because like I have endless energy and endless things to talk to my girlie about. But I'm definitely getting burnt out, which is like not something I'm really like a feeling I get a lot. I feel like people overuse that term.
Yeah, we never use it. We plan about 2 proper vacations each year. We didn't do one this year though, so this is the only one of 2022. And like every time we have a vacation coming up, it is like so necessary. Not only are we like excited to vacate, but we have run ourselves dry. So I feel like after this week, we will be in that place, and we just need like the 2 weeks off to miss each other, miss celebrities, miss talking. Like when I go on vacation, I'm going mute. Like I'm a mime. I'm not speaking.
When I'm on break, I will not be putting on one stitch of makeup. My eyelashes are literally falling off. But it's the burnout, but it's also, we've had like a huge Q4, you know? We had our Dear Media move. We had my special, the end of tour. Like, it's just been a lot, you know? So I feel excited for the break. And I know that like when we come back, we're just going to have like a renewed energy. And I think until the end of the week, it's going to be like classic unhinged behavior from us, you know, delirious girlies.
Yeah, also end of year content is always so fun to really look back and reflect on the year. I feel like I haven't done that yet. 1 on the year in general, 2 on the year like personally for us, 3 on the year professionally, the year in Toast. I feel like this is the week where we do that. So when you said like, are you emotional? Like, no, not yet, because I really hadn't thought about the fact that it was our last week yet, but now we'll do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Are you going to miss 2022?
Yeah, I feel like my life operates in a series of good years and bad years. That's how I like look at life. And this was a very good year, which means a bad year is upon me. So I don't know if that's next year. I hope not. But I do know I have a bad year coming my way.
I guess so. I don't know. I was the one who started that theory but I do feel like this year kind of broke the mold because I always thought like our odd years were good and our even years were bad. But this was a good even year.
Yeah, no, I'm not so sure it's about even odd. I just think that's life. Like I think life, you have good years and you have bad years.
Right, but it's not supposed to be every other year.
No. So I'm saying it might not even be next year that's my bad year, but a bad year is on the horizon for sure.
Okay, well, enjoy this one while you've got it. Enjoy the good times. Let the good times roll.
It's been a fabulous year, and I'm just going to very much exist here for now.
That's great. Well, we have a great show for you guys.
Oh my God, do we?
There's so much content to talk about. I know Claudia and I both watched Harry and Meghan. It's the first story, like really, it's the only story. Then there's more TV news. Claudia watched White Lotus season finale.
Yes.
She will be recapping and discussing her thoughts. I watched a new episode of Yellowstone and last week's episode 2. We'll be recapping my thoughts. Claudia is on season 4 of Yellowstone, so we need to get an update from Claudia. Claudia also watched Sex Lives of College Girls.
I did. Literally the best show on TV. Like, you cannot tell me otherwise.
I'm really excited to watch. I actually have so much on my content plate. I need to write it down because this always happens to me. My plate runneth over and then I forget everything. So here are the things that I want to watch. They're pretty varied, honestly. Sex Lives of College Girls, obviously. Sex Lives. Next, have you heard of this show about the Fleischmans?
Yes, on Hulu.
Yeah, my friends were talking about it at dinner. They said it's so good and that we would love it.
Okay.
Then I need to watch Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch that. It's really not my genre. Like, it's not my style. I don't like stuff like that. Like,
I know, but you know what?
Sending shivers down your spine.
I think that it is objectively amazing. And I want to watch something really good that everybody is loving. Like, you know, breaking records. And I feel like I could get into it. You know, that's not my genre either. But when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
So I have 4 big shows to watch. Watch out, world.
Wow, just a couple of big girls and their big shows.
Maybe I'll watch it this week while I'm sick.
While I'm sick.
I'm so sick.
You're so sickening. And speaking of sickening, today's episode is going to be fabulous. Back remote studio. I have to say, there's nothing better than being together, but I kind of love our remote setup. Like, I don't know, the headphones and like the way I look. Like, I look so fat and ugly when we record together. And when we record separate, like, I'm literally a model.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. And I feel as close to my girl as ever. Plus, you're literally coming here in 10 minutes. So
I know. The crazy thing is
enjoy
like,
the time apart, honestly.
You and Harry got out of Dodge, and I didn't even come to say bye because I know I'm going to see you in like 2 days. Like, I FaceTime Harry now. I'm like, I don't even feel sad.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be so fun to see you. And
yeah.
I
can't believe... use a trip. I could use a trip to the south.
Yeah, for your vacation. You got to start vacating.
It's supposed to snow today.
That's exciting. Soup day.
I know.
Or chili day.
Well, it's now a full year of when I said I would see the snow by Christmas, and another Christmas is coming, and I will not see the snow.
It's like 2 years.
It's like no, I'm saying it's a year since I've said that last.
Yeah, so I think you should honestly like give up on your dreams.
Not you encouraging me to give up.
Yeah, because if you're not going to achieve your dreams, I think it's better to give up. That's like what they say. Don't quit your day job. Like, live in reality and don't constantly like mourn the loss of something that's not going to happen.
Jesus Christ. I'm not mourning the loss. I brought it up once. I'll never bring it up again. And I didn't stop living. I didn't stop staying in my apartment. Okay.
No, but I do feel like at a certain point, maybe it was a year ago, where you decided to keep blooming where you're planted, and you're like, I'm not going to keep chasing after this apartment that doesn't exist.
I did.
And that's a good feeling. And then you loved your apartment again. You had a little refresh. You got the wallpaper. You have my beautiful art. It's looking good.
No, but there's still no sunlight and not a cloud in sight, you know?
It's good. It's never cloudy in Claudia's apartment.
No, that's true. Yesterday, I did not move from my bed. I had the longest week of my life. I did not move. I think the first time I went outside was 4:00 to walk Theo, and I was shook to find out it's been raining the whole day. That's like a crazy feeling when you literally, like, everyone in the world, well, everyone in the state knows that it's raining and you don't.
How did that make you feel?
It definitely made me feel like a degenerate. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But it's not your fault.
It had degenerative behavior.
In the words of Claudia Oshry, you were merely a victim of circumstance.
I was merely a victim of circumstance. By the way, let's talk about your sweatshirt. Anybody else on the planet want to know what the fuck the bar is and why everyone's wearing this $200 sweatshirt?
So are you just like looking at me because I'm just looking like so sickening and cool with the bar sweatshirt? I'm just like an influencer, except that I paid for it.
Yeah, no, can somebody explain? They're like cool, but
they're cool.
Let me tell you bar?
My journey to the bar. So the bar is a brand by @Bridget. She's an influencer and that's her brand. And her brand makes these sweatshirts that say the bar, but they also make like dresses and real clothes.
It's like a clothing company.
it's a clothing company, but these sweatshirts have really gone viral. And I think Bridget like sent them to all of her influencer friends and just like influencers in general. And they like made them cool. But I also was getting this feeling, and I'm not one of those people, by the way. I fully purchased them.
Yeah, let's talk about how much did you pay for the bar?
So there was a sale. There was a sale, buy 3, get the 4th free. So I was buying 2 for myself because I found 2 colors that I liked. But I was like, if I buy just one more, then I've doubled my order. So I need to look. They were all on sale. It really wasn't crazy. It was like $200 something for 4 sweatshirts. I gave 1 to Olivia.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say $200 something for a sweatshirt. I'm like, you've officially lost your goddamn mind.
Total. I gave 1 to Olivia because I was like, if I get a 4th, I'll give it to her. I was going to like, leave one in your room for when you were here because
you should.
My theory about these sweatshirts is like there's something like magical about the way that they fit. That was what I was thinking before I bought it. You know how you're always looking for the perfect crew neck? I personally think like our merch crew necks are amazing, but I was like, I still am on the quest for like the perfect crew neck. Sometimes I don't want to wear, like if I'm traveling or something, like I don't want to wear my own brand for whatever reason. It's like obnoxious.
Safety concerns.
So I just was getting this feeling like this sweatshirt was like magic fit. Now I'm not sure if it's a magic fit or it just looks nice because I ordered them all in size extra large. I didn't even realize that I did that. I want them oversized, but I could have done a large. They probably didn't have a lot of sizes. So I got 4 extra large sweatshirts. So of course they're oversized and look awesome. This one's been washed already, so it's a little bit smaller. But I do think there's something special about these sweatshirts.
Now, I'm just curious about what bar. What is the bar?
Oh, sorry. It's the bar. That's the bar.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So it's the bar. If you're asking me if I know what the fuck that is, no.
Wait, how is what you just said different than what I just said?
No, it's the same thing. Just about how you say it.
The bar?
Yeah.
What did I say?
No, that's what you said. I'm just like, I was like fucking with you.
Oh, okay. But like, what does that mean was my question.
I don't know. I think we have to have Bridget on the toast to explain what.
Actually, I don't think we need to have this Bridget. She didn't send us sweatshirts when clearly
so
every influencer
true.
got them.
It's
like, please,
so,
I'll continue to shop at showmeyourmoo.com, okay? Because they send me free things,
I'll continue to shop at shopchanel.com or shopthetoast.com.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Jackie, we don't even know our new website. It's toastmerch.com.
Anyways, I fell for it. I was influenced by everyone and I like it. And now they're the sweatshirts that don't fit in my closet because I don't have room. So they're the ones that sit out.
Oh my God.
They're the ones
that is the most relatable thing you've ever fucking said. Like
they're the ones that sit out on the bench at the end of my bed. So it's the one
mine
I'm
go
wearing.
on my windowsill.
Yeah. And I don't have like a chair yet or a couch in my room, but once I do, like it's game over.
A chaise lounge.
So it is a nice sweatshirt. Like I would recommend it. I did get them on sale. So I feel good about that.
Yeah.
But she's got a nice thing going on the bar.
Fabulous.
And I'll take more, even though I have 4. I went from being someone who had 0 to someone who had 4.
Well, I had a kind of traumatizing experience this morning. My favorite flowers in the world are lilies. And
no,
Brian
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the smell. I don't even like the way they look so much. I love the way they make your house smell. So I was at Brian's house and he had lilies and I was like, oh my God, I love these lilies. I love the way they smell. And then for my special, I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Blowing my nose off camera.
Okay, thank you.
And
whatever.
listening still. You're special.
When I
you
had
want
my
lilies.
special, Brian sent lilies to my house and was like, good luck. And then today I was like, I really want to take good care of them. So I was cleaning and watering. And I forgot that those little shits inside the lily will stain the fuck out of anything you own. So my favorite sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, I got big yellow piss stains on it. I'm so mad. I'm going in with my hydrogen peroxide. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like the one. It's like one of the 5 things in the world that will not remove. Will stain permanently. I'm so annoyed.
If only Billy Mays thought of that.
Justice, rest in peace, Billy Mays.
Rest in peace. Well, I love your sweatshirt. You're looking like a proud American. And I'm looking like a proud influencer.
Oh my God, we are literally like American influencers today.
American influencers. If that ain't us.
No, that's like that TikTok sound. You know what my pronouns are? Proud American.
That's fucking you today.
That's
you know what my
me
pronouns
today.
are? Proud influencer.
No, the bar.
My pronouns are the bar.
And you know what? I will respect that.
And I will respect yours.
We've got a great show. There's just so much to dive into. I feel like we're dilly-dallying. Like everyone's like, shut up and start talking about Harry and Meghan. And I just want to say, I'm ready to shock the world with my Harry and Meghan take. Because you know me. And like, I'm trying to be better. But like, I am an absolute hater to my core. Like, I will hate everything about like things that people love, you know? Mm-hmm. So I was ready to go in and like nitpick the shit out of it. But when I tell you, I got carried away by their love story. Like I really did. Like, I don't know what they were selling, but I was buying everything. Like I didn't see that. I didn't see that for myself.
Yeah, I think people might be surprised by some of my thoughts too, actually.
And I'm surprised by other people's thoughts because for the most part, the reaction that I've been seeing is like, oh my God, Harry and Meghan are so fake. Like I liked them before, but like people have really been reacting negatively to it.
Yeah.
And to them specifically. And I'm like, wow, I'm always like thinking that they're so fake. But I was like, no.
Yeah, it was like opposite day. Okay, let's get into it. Without further ado, for the fifth to last time this week, here are the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
Today's episode is brought to you by PayPal Honey. Thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes this holiday season is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones that it finds to your cart. When you check out, the Honey button will drop down and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. If Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. You can add Honey to your iPhone now too. Just enable it on your Safari and you can find savings on the go. I have had tremendous success with Honey. I have saved money on makeup, on electronics, on food, on clothing, literally everything. Most of the places that I love to shop work with Honey and it's so fabulous and it's so easy. And the fact that you can now download it on your iPhone too is stunning and so easy. If you don't already have Honey, you are straight up missing out on holiday deals. It is that time of year where we're all doing our last minute shopping. A lot of it is being done online, on your phone, on the go. And so if you're just not downloading the browser extension from Honey, you're just wasting time, money, and everyone's energy. And I don't think you want to be that person. So go get Honey, and we have a link where you can get it for free. It's free, it installs in just a few seconds. By getting it, you're doing yourself a solid. We would never recommend something we don't use. We've been using Honey for years before they started sponsoring the show. And you can get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/toast. That's joinhoney.com/TOAST. joinhoney.com/toast. Today's episode is also sponsored by Thuma. Thuma, 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 let me be your Thuma. Thuma, 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 let me be your Thuma. Your bedroom deserves a refresh, and now is the perfect time to elevate the most important room in your home with Thuma. Introducing the bed by Thuma. It's handcrafted from eco-friendly, high-quality upcycled wood. You'll find beautiful, unique variations in the natural grain. The minimalist design features Japanese joinery, and it helps elevate any space. It's super supportive for your mattress, it's breathable, and it's made to naturally minimize noise and create space. The perfect platform bed just got even better. You can now customize the bed by choosing between the original pillow board and the new solid wood headboard. The fabric pillow board adds softness, it adds color to any space, while the headboard offers solid, sleek support. The headboard attaches directly to the bed using Japanese joinery with no tools required. You can buy it with the bed or on its own as an upgrade. Okay, so Thuma beds arrive in 3 easy-to-maneuver boxes. The way that they're set up, it's Japanese joinery. It will take you 5 minutes, actually. You will not have to divorce your partner. You'll have a gorgeous bed, and you will maintain a love and respect for your partner that normally doesn't happen when setting up bedroom furniture. Along with the bed, Thuma offers other bedroom essentials to elevate bedtime. The mattress, they have the nightstand, the side table, and they're all perfect complements to the bed. Jackie's guest room in her house has the bed. I have slept in it multiple times, as has the Snatchler. And if it's Snatchler approved, it's pretty much good.
I've taken a nap in there. It's
right
next to the studio.
It's pretty much good enough for any old American, you know? Create that feeling of checking into your favorite boutique hotel suite, but at home with the bed by Thuma. Now go to thuma.co/toast to receive a $25 credit towards your purchase of the bed, plus free shipping in the continental U.S. Go to thuma.co/toast. That's THUMA.co/toast for a $25 credit.
Thank you, McClardiel.
You're welcome.
Okay, our first story So the new trailer for part 2 of Harry and Meghan has dropped, and the pull quote is Harry saying that they, the palace, quote, were happy to lie to protect my brother, but weren't willing to tell the truth to protect us.
Ooh. Well, that's interesting because I think, and maybe why a lot of people didn't like the documentary, is because they didn't really go after the family at all in the first one. Like, the only time they really even mentioned them was when she was talking about how I'm a hugger. And I didn't even think that was that damaging, because that actually is, I think, like, I could totally see that being like a reason why they all got off on the wrong foot. Like Meghan being like classically American, and British people being very put off by that. British people are very put off by like American emotional like distress.
I don't think that's I think that's like a relatable story that she shared, but I don't think that's cause for getting off the wrong foot. I don't think that they would be offended that she tried to hug them. I think it's just like an awkward, stilted moment, but not like a grave insult by any means.
No,
and just like
actually.
What?
I could see, like, I feel like this happens all the time. Like, I could see, like, members of the royal family kind of looking down on her for being, like, that type, and then her growing resentful that they looked at. Like, I think it could be the starting point of, like, a negative relationship.
Not over a hug. I really, really don't think so.
No, not a hug, but, like, a general sentiment. Like, that's how she was. She said, I'm, like, very American.
Okay. Well, anyways, the first 3 episodes of the show dropped. It goes all the way up until the wedding, and I have so many thoughts. Overall, I enjoyed it much more than I thought that I would. I found them to be more likable than I've ever found them to be before. There were a few inconsistencies and things that are a bit hypocritical. Like, I feel like even the fact that there's a show at all, like,
of course,
when she first said, like, when they say, why are you doing this? And she said, when the stakes are so high, doesn't it make sense to come from us? I'm like, yeah, that's why you guys did Oprah. Like, what's this then?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I think the biggest takeaway from the first 3 episodes is how in love they are, how much of a love match this is. But I think anyone would have had to think that they were that in love to begin with, because you don't cut yourself off from like
go through this
so many people that you love for someone that you're not sure about. Like, I think that you have to be so in love to do what they did and feel so dependent and trusting of your partner.
For me, like, my takeaway was like, oh my God, they're so in love, and it's not like cringe, like it's actual like love. But also, like, for me, I was left with like this deep sadness that it didn't work out. Because when they showed, and there wasn't a lot of footage from when Meghan was like a working royal, when they had gotten engaged and she did the walkabouts and stuff, I feel like it sucks that it didn't work out, because I feel like she was exactly what the family needed, and she was very good at it. And I know she said she was like putting on a face, and I did find it shocking how like there wasn't this like introductory course into how to be a royal. Like, they don't sit you down and tell you what to do. Like, they just throw you in there. And I found that interesting, but overall I was just like, damn, like, this could have worked out if it did, and it would have been so good for everyone.
Yeah, I thought Harry said it best when he was like, deciding to be with Meghan, like, I chose with my heart, and then in seeing her, and the way that she is, like, I also chose with my head because she's perfect for the role. So the way I'm left feeling after watching the first 3 episodes is this girl's perfect for this situation. What could go wrong?
Yeah. No, totally. Like, she was what they needed. She's so that type, like, nice, like, and just like, she has this way about her, and that was like really one of my takeaways. Like, obviously she's a beautiful woman, but like, honestly, seeing like all these pictures of her and like she's literally like the most beautiful woman in the world. And it's so crazy because she was like a low-level actress, and she was still like the most beautiful woman in the world. And like, now that she's a princess, like, we all see it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you would think like someone that striking, getting on TV, like, they would have blown up into like this A-list, and she really, like, she wasn't. And she even said, like, I don't even like acting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if she had continued with Suits and then whatever was after Suits, like, maybe she would have eventually gotten there. But at the time that she started dating Harry, she's just like this cable actress. I thought what was so interesting and felt really true was that the biggest hurdle the family had in her being the one for Harry was that she was an actress. And I feel like I see that, and I feel like we all felt that. It's like there's something like so taboo
tacky.
And about not even acting in general, because I feel like if she was on Broadway, it would have been different. Like there's something so tacky about Hollywood.
Yeah. No, I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, but I also think like her role as an actress and her ability to act is a strength in this role. Like sometimes you're doing a walkabout and you don't want to fucking be there and you've got to play the part. And I think having an acting background isn't the worst place to come from.
I completely agree. And so when we just saw all that footage, I was like, damn, like I don't even remember that time. I feel like it all happened so fast. I don't remember the time when she was like a working royal. Like I really don't remember.
No, especially because I wasn't invested in the royal family until like midway through their relationship, because I hadn't watched The Crown yet. Like when they got engaged, I did not know that they were dating. I never watched Suits. I don't think I knew who she was.
I did not know who she was either, but like they were like, oh, she's a girl from Suits. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I knew what Suits was.
Because Olivia likes Suits.
Margot and Olivia love it.
Yeah. So that was all really interesting. One of the other things that I loved was learning about the early days of their relationship. Because to me, I woke up one morning and they were engaged. But to them, they had a 1.5 year relationship beforehand. So it's like, how do you start a relationship with someone who's so high profile? Where do you go? How do you keep it under the radar? How do you actually get to know each other? I feel like that trip to Botswana was so, like, that makes or breaks a relationship. And for any relationship, royal or not, if you know someone for 1 month and you go away for them in a situation where you're sleeping in a tent together and like not showering, like, is there a toothbrush? I don't know.
No, I was thinking about that too.
There's nowhere to run and hide. And if you still love each other at the end of that trip, like you will be together for a very long time.
Agreed. I found the logistics to be incredibly interesting, and like how really Meghan was the one who had to make it work, because like Harry couldn't just like fly around. Meghan was like relatively unknown. She could fly on commercial flights and like go see him. I found the logistics of it to be incredibly interesting. And I also found it interesting how, like, I don't know why, but I just assumed like these people didn't have iPhones. Yeah. But like the way they had like so many pictures and videos, even from the engagement, like I don't know why I felt like they operated in like a totally wireless, like cut off from the world. Like even Harry saying he found her on Instagram, like he has his own like private page. Like
Snapchat.
I found that to be shocking. I found it to be shocking.
I agree.
It was a Snapchat filter.
And that's what I was saying when we got the first trailer. Like we're already seeing all these pictures of them like in normal people's situations, and we never see, you know, William with the Snapchat doggy filter on, though I'm sure like it exists. And it's like seeing a fish out of water. It's crazy to see them in such normal contexts.
You know what? I did see people like being very put off by the fact that they had like video footage from the moment they left, like during the Megxit. And I definitely was like, oh, that's so weird that like your first instinct would be to film something. And they were like, a friend of ours suggested we started a video diary because like this is, you know, a major moment and it's something we would want to remember. But that definitely made me like, you know?
Yeah, that's sus. Especially, I don't think we've seen the footage yet from that moment. We saw a little bit, and what we saw was like not worth recording. Like him sitting in the airport being like, it's go time, and then her sitting in Canada just like being in distress and not saying anything.
Can I tell you how like people are really saying like that they came off so poorly? And you know what? I actually think I agree that Harry came off poorly. Like Harry kind of sucks. Does anybody else agree? Like he's like kind of a weenie and he's like a little mean. Like I don't know, when Meghan talks, she's like sitting there like laughing, like like being cute and funny. He's just like staring at her.
Oh, I didn't feel that way. I just felt like I've never heard him speak for this length of time, and so it's not surprising, but he is like really well spoken because he's really well educated, and I just like assume he's a doofus, but no, he can speak for himself, and he's just like so enamored with his wife, like even though I guess he doesn't find her as funny as she finds herself, but like he's so respectful towards her. Like
I don't know, he like I didn't really like him, like but you know what, I did really respect and appreciate how they talked about the Nazi thing.
Yeah, I mean they have to,
because nobody talks about that.
No,
I didn't think that they had to. Like I think they could have gotten away with it.
No, not if they were wanted to talk so heavily like about racism.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
And then that would just be fucking weird.
Totally. I guess they were trying to show he's like been, you know,
reformed.
image, reformed. Thank you for the word.
Yeah.
So you and I were speaking about this last night, and actually after we spoke about it, I was like, oh my God, she's totally right. That, and you can verbalize it better than me, but like it really felt like for the short period of time that they were working royals and they were like this dynamic duo, they were actually making a difference. Like,
that's what so much of the first 3 parts was about, like their dedication to service and charity and how that's what they are driven by. And like it was just like the Selena documentary, like I act so that I can spend a month in Kenya giving back, and that's also what brought Harry and Meghan together. Like it's such a big part of who they are. And then so I was watching some of the stuff they did as working royals, and then we also see some of the stuff that they're doing now as like former working royals, and I think they would have made such more a much bigger difference if they stayed in the royal family. Like there's so many opportunities to do service, and like your presence to people means so much. Like watching them as defunct royals go to like an American Air Aviation base in New Jersey to go and talk to like, I don't know, what was it, 20 people who wanted to show up and talk to them, and everyone's wearing masks. Like it was so painful. And it's like, who are these people who are just coming to our base to talk to us? Like he served in the UK. Like they are just regular people, like citizens. Could I walk into that base and expect some sort of special treatment? Everyone wants to talk to me. Like every time they do something now, I'm like, who cares? Why you? Why are you there?
You're so right. And like, I guess they probably know that, you know, they would have had more of an impact staying, and for whatever reasons they didn't do that. But you're right. Like watching the footage of their work here in America, it felt like it paled in comparison to like the actual impact. Like that footage of them going to the memorial service for the black man who was killed by like a gang of 5 white guys, like that was like actually impactful, and that was really moving. And I think the documentary did an amazing job of like really explaining like how big of a deal that was, and how much of an impact it made on like the UK black community. And I just felt like that's huge, and like that's why her being there was like so historic and like so meaningful to so many people. And I'm sure we'll find out soon why they couldn't, but like part of me, my takeaway from the documentary was like, I wish they stuck it out.
Oh, that's my takeaway so far, especially since we haven't really seen things go south yet. Even she talked about her first Christmas at Sandringham, and she said it was amazing. Period. Like there was nothing else. Except for that woman who wore the brooch, but Meghan didn't say anything about that in the documentary. I don't recall her, like they talked about it. They had other people talking about it. They had like the media clips and the tweets, but we never heard from Meghan. Like I had the most amazing time at Sandringham, and then I saw that. Like, and how did that? And what happened? How did that make her feel?
Harry said something. Yeah.
What was the response like within the family? Like, did Meghan feel like that? What was her interaction with that woman? Had she noticed it while she was there? Did she feel like that woman?
Oh, by the way, you're totally right. They like left that. What happened inside?
I don't know. They didn't tell us.
Who the fuck was that woman too?
You know, some lady,
some irrelevant ugly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was, by the way, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Overall, I felt like the documentary did a really fantastic job of explaining, because we're always hearing about like British media, the British tabloids, and honestly I feel like it's kind of silly, because from my American POV, like we don't respect tabloids. Like that's like shit we read in the airport while we're on the toilet. Like it doesn't actually like change people's hearts and minds. It's not a part of the zeitgeist anymore. I think for a while it was. So I feel like the documentary actually did an amazing job of explaining like how the British media operates, like what their role in the culture is, and like why they're so influential. And I found that to be really helpful, because I feel like when it comes to the royals, we're always like the media, and it's just like this like throwaway thing. But I do feel like the documentary did a good job of explaining how it's different than in American culture. Like it's really a part of the zeitgeist in Britain.
Yeah, but then I also feel like yes, and that's always something that we've said. It's like, who cares about the tabloids? But then so much of it was like the media being awful, and it's like, well, like even here, like the media is awful, and they are awful to people, and they like, I don't think a lot of the times like they represent the tone of how people are feeling, and I don't know how seriously people actually take. Like I'm sure there are people who like take it seriously, but like most people are like, yikes, go away.
Yeah,
and I wonder
we
if
live in a culture where we question everything.
Yeah, or at least we do. And I wonder if that's how people in the UK feel, where it's like the tabloids. But if they were such a joke, like why would the royal family, like bring them into the fold.
Work with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. So yes, it did give me a better understanding of that, and also like some of the media stories that really were so offensive. Even the stuff about like her dad, and I thought that the thing with the niece, the long lost niece, was just such an interesting,
fascinating
case study. Period, because it's like this is her friend. It's hard and weird to explain, especially considering she's not friends with her half-sister or talk to her half-sister, and the half-sister's not coming to the wedding. And so like that is something that requires like a long explanation, which we get in this documentary, for like me to understand why the niece would be at the wedding. But considering they don't talk to the media, there's no opportunity to explain that. And instead we would be like, oh, she's clearly close with that side of her family, and the sister, is on the outs. So I just felt like an example like that was a perfect way of us seeing how like something could look one way but really be another way.
No, and like the way that they had to uninvite that niece was so sad, and like she's still not over it.
Yeah, and I wonder what their relationship is now.
I know.
Also, so I felt like some stuff was like a little hypocritical. I felt like, she was saying that she had no introduction into royal ways and royal life, and I do feel like if I wanted to go to an etiquette class and learn about how to do things in a royal way, like I could book that, so it's a little bit like,
no, Jackie, your husband who's a prince could get someone to come to the house,
right? It's a little bit like taking the initiative, but it's also on Harry to have done that for her, to even know, because she doesn't even know there's things she doesn't know. So okay,
right, like why is she rolling up to brunch with the queen, and he's like, wait, do you know how to curtsy? Like, practice that at home.
And maybe there were things that about like the dress code that maybe he doesn't know because he's not a woman. So I'll allow that. But like, there's so much that he knows, that there's so much protocol, and like get her a teacher. I think Diana had teachers. She had like lessons.
I just assumed that everyone would.
But then on the other hand, then they have their royal engagement press moment. And she called that, and she was like, rolling her eyes at it like it was an orchestrated reality show. And it's like, well, so you mean they tried to prepare you so that they didn't just like send you in there not knowing what you were doing? So it's like, you're complaining when you don't get the prep, and then you're rolling your eyes when you do. No,
that's a really good point. Also,
but I do think on all of those counts, like it really is on Harry to have been like, let's get you a tutor.
I think in a lot of ways, Harry like failed Meghan on the transition.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, like the family should, but they don't. And they believe for this, like for everyone coming into the family, it's a rite of passage. They've all been through this like awkward growth transition period, and they didn't want to help her because they've all been through it, and they feel like, we did it, so you should do it.
Well, not even because like, oh, you should go through it because we went through it, but because like that's just how it works. You will get to the other side, especially like once you're a member of the royal family, like then there is that level of respect, but it's like, you just have to go through this process. Like that's just how it is. Not because like, well, we're mad, so you should like, should get it too.
Also, they definitely tried to draw like a lot of parallels between Diana and Meghan. And I just want to say, like, I actually don't think that they're similar at all, especially like all that we've found out about Diana now, like through the Crown documentaries. Like Diana was deeply unwell, and Diana really became crippled under the pressure of the whole thing. And I actually think, even though she didn't get a lot of time doing it, I actually think Meghan maintained like a level of level-headedness and rationale, and she like really stayed true to herself throughout the whole thing, and she stayed close with her mom. And I think her mom is so much part of the reason why she is so level-headed. So I actually don't think that they're similar at all.
No,
they just both got hounded by the media.
Not at all. And I find those comparisons like kind of cringe. And I feel like that's where people are like, there's a weirdness.
Like Harry's like, they're just like, they're reaching.
There's a weirdness in those comparisons. And I think the biggest difference between them and things that really illustrated like who they are and how they've handled the situation is like Diana came into the role at such a young age where she didn't know herself. She didn't have like friends or that, the friends that you have when you're a young girl.
She had nobody.
Are different than your adult friends. She had nobody, and she also like didn't have a strong enough sense of self to be able to withstand all of this. Like Meghan came into this role, and by the way, still a huge role, a smaller role than the role that Diana stepped into, because like you are the spare, William already had his kid, so like you're not going to have to worry about being queen one day. And she came into it in her 30s. Like she not only is she of age, but she is clearly mature for her age, even as a younger person. She's so smart. She knows what she wants to do. She's made a life for herself. She knows who her people are. Like she knows who she can trust. It's so different. And I think that is like the biggest factor in some of the women who do or don't have success in the family. It's because you need to like be a strong enough person before you join. Diana was way too young, and to be with Charles, who is older and doesn't even care, like, and he's just the worst. But like also Meghan came into documentary. Meghan, not only is Meghan her own whole person, she has Harry who loves her, who would do anything for her, who will choose her over everyone every single time, where Charles will choose everyone else over Diana every single time.
No, and the documentary did a really good job of illustrating like how full her life was before this. Like she had amazing friends, amazing family, an amazing career. Like she was passionate, she was well traveled. And you're right, like I do think she was actually like primed. It was going to be hard. It was going to be hard no matter what. But she was in like a better position than most women who enter that family to succeed.
Yes, especially because like the work that they have you do, some of it is exactly the work that she loves, that she wants to be doing. I think they also do a lot of unfabulous work. As the documentary said, they do 2,000 to 3,000 royal engagements a year. Like a lot of it is like not even, the walkabouts that get photographed. It's like
like touring a milk factory,
going to meet a handful of people, and there's no cameras,
right?
I guess when cameras are around, like even though it's so invasive, like a lot of times it makes things fabulous. A little more glam. Like, okay, I'm getting my picture taken, and like this is gonna be a moment. I'm gonna sell out this coat, okay? But like I'm gonna tour the milk factory for what? No. And I have to get all dressed up.
No, 100%. I did find it interesting that like she was so like anxious about wearing a similar color to any of the other senior royals. Like she would always just wear beige or white, and that actually like makes sense because she was constantly wearing like a nude palette.
Agreed, but I thought that was intentional because that's like the style. Look at
and it's stunning.
It's stunning, and I feel like for the last few years that's where everything is trending towards, like sad beige, but on adults it's not sad. And I actually loved her royal style, most of it, and it made me. They showed like the sad beige stuff, and then they showed the dress that she was going to wear to that gala. It was like orange.
Was it the big red poofy thing?
Yeah, the big red gooey fish.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Hate and hate. That's all I'll say.
I just honestly,
and it was just like that was a weird scene. Everyone like watching her try on this big ugly dress.
Totally. I am now left with the question of like, what is their life now? Because like, to be honest, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Like I'm not trying to be mean, because I'm actually like, I am a reformed hater. Like I'm not a hater anymore. I don't really feel like any of what they do now really provides value or meaning for their subjects. You know what I mean? Like I don't really know what their impact is now. Like they're known and they do like, and they put out, kids content and they go to all these events, but honestly, like I don't really know what they're doing now.
Yeah. Anytime they go to an event, I'm just like, why are you there? Like, on the one hand, they're like too big to go to these small things. And on the other hand, they're too small to go to some of these things. Like that's just like me walking, like, or you just walking into like an army base and like expecting people to like drop what they're doing. Like who cares?
It does go without saying, like if there is like a toaster heavy army base, I would absolutely love to come and sing a few songs for you guys.
No, but that's a thing that like celebrities, performers, entertainers do, like the USO tours, and they go and they entertain our troops. What are they doing?
No, totally. They're going to sing?
They should. That would make more sense. Just like what? And you're just like there to chat?
I'm sure that when we watch
Can anybody just walk onto an army base and try and like boost morale?
No, you can't be like, hey, I'm a magician. Can I come? No,
or like, hey, I want to talk to the military.
No, they'll
and then
enlist
doing
you.
Like the vaccine stuff at the UN. Like, what?
Yeah, no, it's, like, what?
I'm sure what credentials do you have to make any of this relevant to anyone?
No, by the way, even when everyone was out here promoting the vaccine, I don't even remember them talking about it. So
they were like, they were going hard.
Oh, well, you know what? I think in part 2, like we will really find out like why the idea of them going back is not ever.
That's not even a thing. In part 2, we'll find out.
At this juncture,
at part 2, we'll
like
find
you
out.
need to go back.
No, part 2, we'll find out why they had to leave.
Yeah.
There's no going back. And I also feel like the sit down with Oprah was much more centered on bashing the family. And I feel like they are changing their tune a little bit to make it the media.
But also, Jackie, it's important to note that, like, allegedly Harry and Meghan are very unhappy with the documentary, with the director specifically.
But that's probably just because people aren't. Most of the things that I've seen written about it are very critical, even from American media, which is so favorable towards them. Yeah. So I think I don't know what in the documentary, like, I would even have had them take out. I think it's just like the way they come. I think it's the fact that there's a documentary in general. Like, I know. You don't even need to watch it to just be like, what are you doing and why are you doing this? And like, if it's the media and the fanfare that you guys hate, then if you lived a smaller life, eventually, still people would go and take your picture and people will always care about you. But you keep making yourself bigger stars by doing all of these things.
No, and can I tell you that I have a theory? I feel like when they got out of Dodge, they had, no idea what their future held. They know they needed like a big house. They needed all this 24/7 security. And they signed a bunch of deals, like to the first people who would offer. And I feel like we heard about their Netflix deal like right after they left. I feel like they got themselves a deal almost immediately just to get paid to live. And now they're like stuck with this thing that they agreed to do 3 years ago. And that's why I feel like they're unhappy with the director.
Because why?
Because they agreed to this thing like when they were desperate, like 3 years ago they were leaving or whatever it was.
But they
needed money.
They can make anything for Netflix. They have carte blanche. It doesn't say it has to be a doc. Yes. Like I haven't read their contract, but like every time the Netflix deal is talked about, it's like kids shows, documentary. They're making like Earth type stuff, mental health.
Yeah.
Like, they can do whatever they want. And if they said we're not doing something like this, or they could even do a documentary, Harry and Meghan, and it followed them on a service tour. And we never heard, you know what I mean? Like no one is making them do anything.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I feel like at this point, American media has been very favorable towards them, but like people are getting fatigued by the constant pleas for privacy while also putting out a podcast and putting out a documentary. Like I think people are starting to kind of get over them. And I think it would really, really, really behoove them to take a nice Ariana Grande sized nap. Like they need a major break from public life.
What's crazy is they've had a major break from public life. Like during COVID, remember we thought they would be like at the Met Gala. Like there were so many times where like we expected them to show up and they didn't. And now I feel like it's a full court press and it's like, well, that's not what we want to see.
Expected.
And that's not really congruous with some of the complaints that we thought you guys. And also, did you see how people are saying, well, if you wanted privacy, why'd you do a docuseries? And now they're saying like it wasn't about privacy.
We never said that. That's
also,
what they're saying.
What's also so weird to me is when they left, like they said they were moving to Canada and literally 5 minutes later they were in Hollywood. And if if you want to live like a smaller, less demanding life, like you go to Hollywood.
No, by the way, Jackie, literally, Harry didn't even go to Canada. Meghan was there by herself, and I think they met in California. Like, they never... No, but also, devil's advocate, is like, California is also the perfect place to live a small life because everyone there is trying to live a small life. Like, they live in Montecito, which is, like, where Ellen lives. Like, it's these, spacious estates where everyone is trying to just, like, hunker down. So, like, it is very sceney, but it's also, like, low-key in a way.
Yeah. I guess I liked the documentary on its own, just watching it. But then when I like take it and apply it to like their actual actions over the last 5 years, I'm like, these are 4 different people.
Yeah. No, totally.
So
Totally.
I really am curious to see what the next 3 parts holds because still I don't understand why they absolutely had to leave, why there wasn't a way to make something work between them. And I'm sure that like the Queen would have been flexible if they were like, we're going to go live 6 months here, 6 months there. We'll see. But that scene, there was 2 things that like stuck out to me. One, the Diana, not the comparisons, but like the scenes with Diana like as a mom and like Harry as a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought they were like so emotional. For some reason, I just like never, I don't know. It showed like a time that I've never seen of all of them. And it was just like, so sweet.
I agree. And I think that like harks back to what what I was saying last week about how sometimes I forget that Diana was William's mom too.
Yeah.
Because Harry and Diana like definitely had like a special relationship. I think Diana gave him like more attention and more love because he was like the spare.
Yeah.
And so that's for me, that's what was reflected in the footage.
But I think also it's just in their nature. Like I think William is more reserved and Harry is more emotional. Like when he said, "I'm my mother's son," I'm like, yeah. And that's not even, but it also is perfect because that's the roles that they're born into and they're each really suited for it. William is suited to be the heir and Harry is suited to be like the emotional spare who can take risks and do what he wants to do.
Totally. So I'm ready for part 2.
I know, but when are we going to recap
it? After 3 parts, we still don't like get to Megxit. Like, come on, take longer. When does it come out?
Thursday night. Maybe Thursday night. Maybe we could watch it Thursday night and recap it Friday because I would really like to
finish the year.
Yeah, finish the year and know where we stand.
Same.
Just crazy stuff.
Crazy
times. Are you ready for our next story?
If it's the next story, that's brought to you by Skylight Frame.
Tis.
Thank you. Skylight Frame is a photo frame that you can update instantly by email from anywhere. It's a very special gift for the special people in your life, so you've got to check out the Skylight Frame. It's a great way to feel close to those you love, even when you're separated. It sets up effortlessly in under 60 seconds. Just plug it in, use the touchscreen to connect your wireless network, and enjoy. Sending photos to the Skylight is effortless. Everyone in the family can use the app or just email them to the Skylight and they'll pop up in seconds. This is such a thoughtful gift. It is the best thing to get for someone. And if you're worried about someone in your life who's not really technologically savvy and you want to get this for them, it is so easy to set up. It takes less than a minute. Even a non-tech person can do it. And then you can have like a bunch of people in your life sending photos to Gran or Granny. And it's really special. It is also beautiful. So it's timeless. It's a black frame with a white mat. So it adds a beautiful touch to your house. The vibrant touchscreen display lets you swipe through photos. You can even tap to heart it and let the person who sent the photo know that you loved it. They have 2 size options, either the original 10-inch or the new large 15-inch frame, and they offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love your Skylight, they'll offer you a full refund. Now, as a special offer, you can get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com, enter code TOAST. That's right, $15 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com, enter code TOAST, SKYLIGHTFRAME.com, promo code TOAST.
Great. Our next story, Katie Holmes brings back the controversial Y2K trend at Jingle Ball 2022. So Katie Holmes went viral this weekend because she wore a crazy fucking outfit to Jingle Ball. It included the like dress, a mini dress, like over a pair of jeans, light wash jeans, and boot cut, and black sneakers. And she, as the internet in a tizzy, people are very unhappy with what this might signal.
Well, the thing is like we're all very much embracing Y2K style, and like Katie Holmes
she took it too far.
She took it too far, but she also did it like it's really poorly executed. Like I actually think like the concept of like a mini dress over jeans, like yeah, while it's weird, somebody if done right could have, like Addison Rae could have made it cool for a moment. Katie Holmes, I'm sorry, this is the meanest thing I've ever said, is far too old to be acting like this, first of all. Second of all, the sneakers, the ill-fitting jeans, and the tube top that's like laying weird on her, it's so poorly done. And I'm sorry, she looks like a clown.
Yeah, it's really terrible. The sneakers are for me the worst part. And then of course the jeans. I actually really like the top with even just like not trying to bring back Y2K, just like with tights or pants. I think it would be awesome. But this is really horrible. And I think that actually this won't bring back this trend. I think it's like a cautionary tale. And I think Katie Holmes is actually doing everyone a service. It's like, okay, you guys enjoy your low-rise jeans and like your belly shirts.
Y2K.
But let's not take this too far. It could end badly.
No, and I do remember a moment in time where like Katie Holmes was like a stylish queen. Like she was living in New York, iconic trench coats, like really this elegant, classy, timeless style. And I don't know how you go from that to this. And I'm actually concerned about Katie Holmes. Like I think this was a cry for help.
I genuinely think she got dressed in the dark. I don't think there was a I don't think there was a stylist involved Or like the
I should hope
stylist
not.
laid out 2 outfits for her. One like the blue top with whatever, and then like a pair of jeans for like when
No,
she
like
went to
the
the
blue
grocery
top
store.
with like a pair of like BBs, and then the jeans with a t-shirt for the next morning.
And she like got confused. And she ran out of the house. And also, like, why the fuck is Katie Holmes at Jingle Ball?
So that's what I'm saying.
I think
like,
she also like went to the wrong event.
Like she got in the wrong Uber outside of her building. One was for the 14-year-old girl who lives beneath her, whose parents are really rich and who got her like iconic tickets to Jingle Ball. And the other was to go, she should be going to like, you know, a gala, a restaurant, a gallery opening, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like between the outfit, the event, the hair, everything, Katie Holmes is not okay.
Katie Holmes is confused.
Katie Holmes is deeply confused. And so am I.
But at least she united everyone in knowing that we don't want this back.
No, honestly, Heather McDonald posted the funniest thing. Did you see?
I saw she dressed in the outfit.
And she was like, oh my God, literally everyone is copying me. First Meghan Markle, who decides to start a podcast and move to California. And now Katie Holmes. I literally wore this outfit yesterday. It was so funny. I think the way people are reacting to this is like, it's funny and they're not being mean. It's like, you know, in jest.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do really like the blue top. I just want to say.
I don't. It's like, it's the least ugly thing on her, but it's by no means like cute.
No, I think it's pretty. Like if Ari was wearing it with like those big Valentino Mary Janes and tights. So cute. So cute. Because Ari's short, so it'd be like long enough on her.
Yeah, it just looks like one of the slip dress that like everyone's wearing now, you know?
Sabrina Carpenter. She would kill it.
Sabrina Carpenter is an icon.
Yeah. Are you ready for our next story?
Yeah.
Some crazy news. Pattie LaBelle was rushed off stage during a Milwaukee concert due to a bomb threat.
Oh my God.
Did you see this video?
No.
Pattie LaBelle was rushed off stage at her concert in Milwaukee on Saturday night amid a bomb scare. Social media videos taken by audience members at the Riverside Theater show LaBelle crying as 3 men pushed her mic stand away and got her off stage while she was talking to the crowd. One of the staff members could be seen grabbing her by the arm and forcing her to drop a bouquet of flowers she was holding as they escorted her away with no explanation. The singer's band members quickly followed behind while puzzled concert goers were heard asking what happened. Organizers later confirmed the show had been halted and ultimately postponed due to a major security threat. The theater group said that her show has been postponed following a bomb threat investigated by the Milwaukee Police Department. After she was removed from the stage, authorities evacuated everyone else from the theater. They're continuing to investigate the incident per a police statement.
I have like something kind of weird to say.
Okay.
Like, the way that like I can't explain, tell me if I'm wrong, like, so the band and Pattie get escorted, there's a bomb threat, the bomb is threatening to everyone, a bomb will blow up a building, and like the people like just sit there and then they get evacuated. Like,
I don't know what the time between them leaving the stage and the crowd being evacuated was. Like, was it Pattie literally goes side stage and then they're like, there's a bomb threat? Like, they also need to maintain, I agree.
They don't want it to be chaos.
One life is more important than the other, but like, you don't want Pattie up there being like, first of all, someone telling Pattie there's a bomb threat, so Pattie has to tell everyone, and like, people go into a tizzy. Like, there needs to maintain some sort of order.
No, some order. No, I understand, but just like hearing that and being like, once Pattie was safe, we got everyone else out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she is a celebrity. Like, so I like, and maybe the bomb was like being thrown at her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, it does feel like you're right. Like, no life is more valuable than the other because, you know, you might be famous, but when we're all 6 feet under, we're all equal. The death is the great equalizer.
Flesh and bones.
100%. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I hope they investigate and find out what the fuck that is.
The fuck.
It's just crazy.
What? Yeah, no, that's like a bomb threat. It's like not okay.
No. So now are you ready for our next story, which is a little more positive musical news?
Positive musical news? Yeah.
It's PMN. Mean Girls, the musical movie cast is totally fetch. See who's playing Regina, Katie, and more. You guys, there's an upcoming film version based on the Broadway musical of Mean Girls, which is based on the movie of Mean Girls, which is actually based on a book.
Is it?
Yeah, now that I remember, the book Mean Girls was based on a book called like Something about bees, Queen Bee, Mean Girls.
How interesting.
Based on Queen Bees and Wannabes. Yep.
Interesting. So it was a book turned into a movie, turned into a musical, turned back into a movie musical.
Exactly. But the book Queen Bees and Wannabes is from 2002. It focuses on the ways in which girls in high schools form cliques and on patterns of aggressive teenage girl behavior and how to deal with them. So it's nonfiction.
Right. It's like a psychological, no, it's like a science book.
Yeah. I wonder what the actual category is. But that is such like a throwback.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, I mean, Mean Girls, the musical, was so popular. I didn't see it, but like it had like a cult following. And that's how we got Renee Rapp, who's in Sex Lives of College Girls. That's how we got Ashley, who plays, what's her name on Emily in Paris, the best friend who's a singer. I think her name is Renee or something.
No, but I know who you're talking about, even though I watched one season.
So we've got some like amazing actors out of it.
Yeah, well, this film version will star Andrew Rice, Renee Rapp, who was in the Broadway version
Musical
and is
as Regina.
She'll be Regina. She's from Sex Lives of College Girls. Also, Luli Cravalho, who sang on Moana, the soundtrack. She was Moana, the voice of her, and Jacquel Spivey as Katie. Katie. Andrew Rice is Katie. Renee Rapp is Regina. Luli Cravalho is Janice, and Jacquel Spivey is Damien.
Okay. I actually am down for this. Like, I feel like I never saw the musical, and people are obsessed with it, and it was said to be have been really, really good. And Renee Rapp is amazing, and I'm actually really excited for this.
Yeah, me too. Now I'm like,
is Tina Fey involved? Like, was she? I think she was involved in the Broadway version. She must be.
Yes, it will be written and produced by her and featuring music from her husband and lyrics from Nell Benjamin, who also worked on the Broadway musical, and SNL creator Lorne Michaels is on board as a producer. So there's really no reason why this should flop.
Wow, literally, Tina Fey stays milking the Mean Girls cow. She has made so much money. I mean, I feel like Mean Girls, at least for me, really put her on the map as a serious, not only behind the scenes, and not only actor, but also behind the scenes. She was a producer and a writer. And ever since then, her career has been so much different than her fellow SNL compadres and fellow 30 Rock castmates. And this is just a train that doesn't stop going.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Then after this, it'll probably be a book again and then back to Broadway.
Yeah.
What else could they do with it? TV show.
Yeah.
And then they could do miniseries.
Maybe our kids will, our kids will have a different Mean Girl, and we're going to be classic old moms being the original with Lindsay Lohan is really the best one.
Yeah, that's A Star is Born. There's a new movie for every generation.
Right.
This is exciting.
Our Star. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Excitement excites me.
I'm feeling feelings of excitement.
That's great.
And then our fifth and final story is the name on everyone's lips, White Lotus.
Yes, finale last night. Are you going to watch it?
I am going to watch it. So I will be unplugging my earbuds while you let everyone know your thoughts. Goodbye, guys.
So the finale was last night. We finally found out who died. And I feel like if you were watching a lot of theories on TikTok, a lot of people had guessed that Quentin and Greg were somehow linked and they were going to, kill her for the money on the prenup. Now, I just want to say, I thought all in all, this was a good season of a show. But when you compare it to the first season where every character ended up being linked and all the storylines made sense, I kind of felt a little disappointed in who ended up dying. I feel the way that that hotel concierge ended up dying last time was so crazy and random and weird. And this one, I don't know, it just felt meh. And the fact that she died after is actually so Tanya, because she's incapable of doing anything. And the fact that she actually killed those guys and defended herself is a miracle. But her, just trying to escape after everyone's already dead and then hitting her head on the edge of the boat is so Tanya. I felt my overall takeaway from the series was how much I fucking hated absolutely everyone. Most specifically, the Italian guys. You know who I'm talking about? The ones who were on a family, vacation with the grandpa, the dad, and the son who ended up giving the hooker $50,000. I fucking hated this man. He was such a loser. When that hooker like left him, I was so happy because I was like, you know what? Some lessons young people need to learn the hard way. And you just got taken by a hooker to give you her 50 grand. You're a loser. So I love to see that. Those hookers were also really bothering me too. Because also, I don't know why they had to wait a whole week to get Theo James to give them their money. Like, have you heard of like Venmo or the Cash App? It was really frustrating. But I did like that piano girl. Like, she helped the hotel concierge like find her sexuality. I thought that was nice. But overall, like, I was just hating everyone. Like, I hated Aubrey Plaza and her fucking husband. Like, I loved Daphne and her husband, but like the other two, like they were so drab and like always being so negative. My God. And she's depressed and then he's depressed and he's cheating and then she's cheating. Like, my God, shut the fuck up. Like, how fucking annoying are these people? So the series was just filled with like a lot of people I fucking hated. I also hated that girl Isabella, like the front desk concierge. I know she had a minor role, but I was just like fucking hating everyone. But I didn't hate Theo James. I didn't hate Daphne. I didn't hate the grandpa from the Italian Family. I don't know. I just felt like first season was way better. I hated fucking Portia. Oh my God. I forgot about her because she was like kidnapped. Hated fucking Portia. Like, what the fuck was that outfit she was wearing? And she ended up wearing it for like 48 hours straight because that guy like wouldn't let her go back to the palazzo. But like that skirt and that t-shirt and that bag, like jail. Jail for you. Italian jail for all of you. And that's what you get when you leave the nice man for the renegade. Whatever. Honestly, I feel like I don't even have that many thoughts. Like, Loki, like, wasn't that good? Can everyone agree or no? That's just me. Jax, I'm back. Oh my God, bitch. Look the fuck up. She's back. Okay. Take longer to put your headphones in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Take longer.
Things didn't go well? Things didn't go well?
No, they did.
The White Lotus?
I don't want to tell you.
Don't influence how I feel about it.
Yeah. So we still have a little TV recap because I'm all caught up on Yellowstone. I know you have a lot to catch up on Yellowstone.
You're all caught up?
No, sorry. Like, I'm
made further headway.
I made a headway. You are all caught up on Yellowstone after 2 weeks. So let's dive into the TV recap. If that's the end of the stories, is it?
It is the end of the stories.
Well, TV Recap is brought to you by Modern Fertility. Knowledge is power. And when you know more, you can make better decisions for your body, your health, and your future. There aren't many bigger decisions than having a kid, but for many women, their fertility is a big question mark. But that's why Modern Fertility was created, an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label and you'll get your results within 6 days. You'll get insight into your hormone levels, like your ovarian reserve, aka if you have more or fewer eggs than the average woman your age, other important factors that can impact your fertility. The results will go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also download the results to review with your doctor for next steps. Traditional hormone testing at a fertility clinic can cost over $600, but Modern Fertility tests the same general set of hormones at a fraction of the price. And if you go to modernfertility.com/toast30, you can get $30 off your test. Plus, you can get reimbursed through your FSA or your HSA. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $30 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/toast30. This is a limited time offer for $30 off. That means your test will cost $149. Hormone testing at a fertility clinic can cost 3 times as much. Get $30 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/toast30. That's modernfertility.com/toast30. Today's episode is also brought to you by the Perfect Bar. Don't go nuts this holiday season. Fuel yourself with Perfect Bar, the original refrigerated protein bar. Made with freshly ground nut butter, organic honey, and 20 organic superfoods, Perfect Bar has a variety of products like protein bars and little snack size bars too that are so good and good for you. You'll be sure to find something you love. My favorite is the dark chocolate chip peanut butter with sea salt. With the sea salt Perfect Bar. Something about dark chocolate in the fridge with sea salt is like an immaculate level of taste, and you have to experience it to know, you know? It is so delicious and is definitely a go-to here at the studio. I keep them in the fridge. They have a cookie dough texture that's creamy and full of flavor, and they're unlike any other bars out there. Now they come in snack size, and they're packed with 6 grams of proteins and 150 calories. A little will go a long way with these. Perfect Bar knows that it will be love at first bite, so for a limited time, they're offering you a chance to try their refrigerated protein bars for free. Here's how it works. Sign up for email or text and upload a picture of your receipt from your local grocery store, and they'll reimburse you for the cost of 1 bar. It'll go directly into your Venmo or to your PayPal account, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All you have to do is go to perfectsnacks.com/toast. Get a free Perfect Bar today. That's perfectsnacks.com/toast to get a free Perfect Bar today. Happy snacking. Jax, what is your favorite flavor Perfect Bar?
You mean the Perfect Bar?
The Perfect Bar.
So what's so funny is that last week I was like, oh, Claude, that's so surprising that you like the dark chocolate one. And then I had one from my fridge yesterday, and I remember describing as the ones that I like as being like cookie dough. But I was like, you know what? What's the actual official flavor that I do like? So I could share it next time we were talking. And it's that dark chocolate peanut butter one. So we are so simpatico because that's each of our favorite flavors. And I wasn't wrong about it being semi cookie dough because that is the consistency. But the dark chocolate peanut butter one is my go-to.
Okay, so do you want to start with Yellowstone up-to-date recap and then I chime in being like an irrelevant ugly, or
no, let's start in chronological order with what you watched.
So I finished season 3 last night and then I immediately watched season 4. It was the attack of the Duttons. You know, Casey got attacked at his office. Beth's office was blown up. John Dutton was shot on the side of the road, and big shocker, everyone's alive. Not that I wanted anyone to be dead, but like I'm starting to like, I can only suspend disbelief for so long. Like, one, that people in Montana will just kill as many people as they want without ever having any consequences. And 2, like the Duttons are going to continually get shot and they're not going to die. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a little too convenient.
Yeah, I mean, it is a television show, but yeah. So now I just want to know on the whole, like, how do you feel about the show Yellowstone? Like, are you obsessed and in love?
Oh, yeah. Like, I went to bed thinking about it. I dreamed about it. Rip dug up his mother's body to get a ring to give to Beth. And I just simply passed away in that moment. I mean, it was like kind of weird how like the body was just like green and like chilling there. And then like he took it off of her and like was talking to the dead body and like wasn't even covering his mouth. Like, decomposed bodies are like literally the most foul smelling shit on the planet. Like, and he was like touching her and he was like, love you, mama. Like, it was sweet, but like a little weird.
Decomposing bodies, yeah, like a dead body that's like freshly dead as it rots, it smells bad. But a pile of bones isn't smelly.
But it wasn't a pile of bones. That's what I'm saying. She was like fully intact.
Okay.
But like she was embalmed. But still, you get smelly.
I can safely say I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Gotta ask Portia.
So you love the show because I said to you
love.
season 1 is good and it's good TV, you'll like it, and season 2 it's like, oh, this is a really good show, but like by season 3 you're like, I would die for this show, I would die for these people.
I have been like in love with the show since season 2 because Beth and Rip like really were starting there and like they were sitting on the stars and like they were being funny. I have been obsessed like since season 2.
And do you love Beth now because you were being so mean to her season 1?
I wasn't being mean to her. I just thought she was like a little aggressive.
She was a little much. Yeah. But now...
Yeah, no, but like I get, like it's a necessary evil. I love Beth, even though like some of the shit that comes out of her mouth is so wild. I love Beth. I love Rip. I like John. I'm not going to lie. I don't love John. He's like a little like negative. I would seriously with my own 2 hands kill Jamie.
You were liking Jamie.
Spoiler alert. Oh my god! I watched one episode and I said he's a good lawyer. Like literally, you need to get a grip. He is such a loser. And when I found out that he was, spoiler alert, adopted, like everything made sense. Oh, and I did find out the reason why Beth hates him so much. And I just want to say, like, everything she's ever done to him is completely justified.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. He's such an evil cretin, and he wasn't even apologetic. Like, okay, I understand. Like, you know, you were a kid, you were put in a difficult position. Like, you made a mistake. So you want to apologize? Like, you know what? I actually might have it in my heart to forgive you. But the way, like, you are mad at her for being mad at you, like, you're mentally ill. You're not fucking okay.
Yeah. Also, keep watching. Season 4 is a roller coaster for Jamie.
So I also have had a change of heart on Casey because, like, I actually found him to be so fucking annoying and kind of ugly. Now I think he's like kind of hotter than Rip. Like he's actually like the strong silent type. Like I actually think he's really, really handsome. And you know, he's starting to see like why this job is actually perfect for him. He loves being livestock commissioner. They just said to him, we want you to run for governor. Like he's really meant for this. And of course Monica's bitching and nagging like a good wife should, but I feel as confident that they'll work it out. I actually really like Casey. He's turning into one of my favorites, even though I didn't even like him in the beginning. And I actually find him like really attractive, like so much so, like maybe even more than Rip. Like, but Rip, I love his personality. Like, Casey's personality fucking sucks. They're both handsome. You know what? I wouldn't kick either of them out of bed, you know?
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to choose.
I don't have to choose, but like I feel like I'm being disloyal because I've been such a rip girly, and I am a rip girly. But, you know, don't count out the Casey, you know?
Yeah, Casey's solid. Also, as far as we know, like he's really who the legacy hinges on. So we need him to be good.
But then, you know, John was in the hospital and Beth finds this like twisted teenager. Wayward kid sitting on a bench. His dad is about to die of a heroin and he's like alone in this world. And I'm like, oh, adopt. Tate will have a friend. Beth and Rip can have a child. And I never heard from that kid again, but I don't think it'll be the last time we see him. But Jamie got that political hooker pregnant and we never heard from her again. Where is she? Is she going to show up with a child?
You'll see her again.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they would just leave that storyline.
Yeah, no, you will
totally
see her
empty.
Again.
Okay. So all in all, loving the journey. Ben and I said last week that by today I'd be finished and all caught up, but that was because I fully intended to move forward without Ben. But he loves it so much, and it's, you know, it's actually been a nice thing for us to have together. So for the sake of my marriage, I have decided to wait. He would be so mad.
Okay, so that's fine. I can be patient.
And
is there anything that you want to like say to me and the listeners who've been like waiting for years for you to watch?
To you, I'd like to say the platform is now yours. You can do your recap, and I'll take my headphones off. Bye, guys.
Wow, wench. You guys have been here the whole time while I begged her to watch it, told her how much she would love it. I'm going to spend my entire time with her off the headphones, like talking about how frustrating it is to try and get this bitch to watch something that I know she's going to love. I digress. I caught up on the last 2 episodes of Yellowstone, and what's interesting is because what Claudia was just saying, how like so much of the show is unbelievable. I feel like we're getting to a place in the show where like nothing is happening, and I love it. Like it's not about the drama, it's not about the storyline or the plot. It's just about like watching characters that you love and watching a show that you love. And like the day in the episode last night, like the day in the meadow with the cattle and like everyone just having the best day of their lives. They like just go off and show like what John did, napping. Literally, John napped under a tree. Beth and Rip discovered a meadow. Like these were the plots, and it was so beautiful and glorious. And I really don't need anything of note to happen on the show. Obviously, Jamie has other plans for me with his new wench that he has bedded, and he's so fucking dumb because obviously I think that she's wants to make him governor, wants to oust John, but like she's not going to be ride or die for Jamie. Obviously, this girl is like extremely conniving. So he's a moron. He is the villain. And it's so crazy. One person will give him like one morsel of the confidence and say like one nice thing to him, and he is theirs for a minute because he's so fucking disloyal. Anyways, I thought the episode on the ranch was just so amazing and beautiful when that man passed away under the tree. It was like sad, but then it wasn't, because a cowboy couldn't dream of a more peaceful death. And that's about it. I watched the episode before. I can't remember what happened. Beth and Rip are just giving us like literally everything, and we're seriously not deserving. When he had the flask for her and the cigarettes, it was just the cutest thing. And she was like, you don't have to work so hard. I'm still going to blow you. They're just so hysterical. The lines between them are getting so great. Some of the lines on the writing on the show is like really so good. And some of it you could tell is like trying too hard. I feel like sometimes when Beth is being like, even when she was talking to Summer, it's just like a little much, but I'm glad that Beth and Summer have reached a détente. But when John and Rip were having a conversation before the cattle drive, where they like John was saying how the world is run by cowards, it was just so fucking on point. I wish I could have highlighted it. And it was just like how, you know, Beth has this instinct to fight, and like right now, like actually strength is not a symbol of strength. It's just like who can complain and blame. Like that is the person who's in a position of power. It was just really interesting. So loved it. Love our show. Every season it changes. I feel like last season it was like cowboy porn, even though last night's episode was cowboy porn, but like this season is just like characters you love, like really exploring them and not worrying so much about the storyline in the airport. We're just like having a great time in Montana. Back to Claudia.
You're done?
I'm done.
And so are we. That is our show. A nice hour and a half long episode.
Oh, wow. My memory card's going to expire.
I know. Anything else we want to say, catch up on, talk about? I started my book for my book club, Flicker in the Dark, which you read for your book club. And everyone in my book club is listening to the Redheads episode after they finish the book.
And what are they saying about our show?
Killer.
It really is a killer show, and all I'll say is a little Redheads excitement. The final round of Redheads Book of the Year voting will start today on the Redheads Instagram. It's reader's choice. We're voting which is the best book of the year. The top 3 are going to be Lessons in Chemistry, Flicker in the Dark, and Girls with Bright Futures, 3 books which you will have read, Claudia.
Oh my God! Not me feeling included.
What would you vote as your number 1?
Well, I liked Girls with Bright Futures better than Lessons in Chemistry. I actually fucking hated Lessons in Chemistry now that I've had some time to think about how fucking stupid it was.
Okay,
so
great.
now I just need to finish Flicker in the Dark. I'm only 20% through. But I have a feeling my friends in my book club said that it was amazing. I have a feeling it'll be better than Girls with Bright Futures. But I actually really liked Girls with Bright Futures.
Try and finish it in time to vote in the final round. Make your voice heard.
Okay. We'll make my voice heard. Hashtag get out the vote. Don't forget to make a plan.
Make a plan, bring a snack, and then head over to the Redheads Instagram to vote for Best Book of the Year.
Thank you guys so much for listening to The Toast, the Millennium Morning Show where we deliver the fast five stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please do subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as podcasts. I might have the biggest wedgie.
Oh. We're also available as a podcast. I have the biggest wedgie.
We're also available as podcasts anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. Wherever you listen to podcasts, find us, The Toast, and leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are. Have an amazing Incroyable Monday, rise and grind, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.